When we go to the movies, we don't even imagine the things that the actors have to do that might be uncomfortable. Sometimes it's really obvious, like if an actor has to do a dangerous stunt or do a scene that might be messy. For me, I always remember that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End where Johnny Depp is staring down into the toothy mouth of a kraken and gets covered head to toe in what can only be described as goo. I mean, it's obviously gross, right? But kissing scenes in movies are always so romantic or passionate, and the actors are always so good at their job that you can't even imagine that they might be recoiling inside. Today, we're going to take a look into some of the most famous movies you know with actors who really didn't want to kiss their co-stars. Before we get started, remember to leave a like on the video, remember to subscribe because it really helps us out, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. This means you get alerted whenever we upload new content so you don't miss out on a single thing. Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe, and Rupert Grint in Harry Potter. So, during the last couple of Harry Potter movies, Emma Watson, who plays Hermione, shares intimate kissing scenes with both of her leading male co-stars. The first is Daniel Radcliffe, who she kisses in a vision with the purpose of upsetting Ron, and Rupert Grint when the two share a kiss after destroying a Horcrux with a basilisk fang. The kissing scenes themselves were uncomfortable, as during the former, the two actors were naked and covered in silver paint, and in the latter, they had a bucket of water dumped over them shortly beforehand. But this wasn't the worst part. The three actors have been working together since they were children, over a decade, and all three of them shared the sentiments that it was like kissing your sibling. Being covered in paint is one thing, but having to kiss someone you see as a brother or sister is something entirely different. Reese Witherspoon and Robert Pattinson in Water for Elephants. Reese Witherspoon was quite looking forward to getting to have a romantic scene with Robert Pattinson in their movie together, but unfortunately the stars did not align for her. As it happened when the day came for their kissing scene to be filmed, Robert happened to have a very bad head cold. Reese had no problem talking about her experience. He was literally snorting and snotting through every second of it, and it was not appealing. I'm talking green, infectious, disgusting. I'm not kidding. Poor Reese, it doesn't sound like fun, but in the movie, you can't tell. They must be incredible actors, as you can't tell either of them are in any discomfort at all. So Chris and Jennifer Lawrence are two of the most successful and popular actors of the last few years. Their chemistry on screen together is honestly amazing, and there's no doubt that the pair have amazing acting skills when paired up. And you would never ever guess that Jennifer didn't really want to kiss Chris. Not because of any negative feelings towards him, but because at the time he was married to Anna Faris. Her vulnerability and conflict about having to kiss a married man, even just for a movie scene, made her feel quite uncomfortable. She even had a few drinks before the filming of the scene just to calm her nerves, and we think she did a great job of masking her discomfort. Kristen Stewart and Taylor Lautner in Twilight. Kristen Stewart got so into playing her character Bella in Twilight that she began to be unsure of her scenes with Taylor Lautner because of what Bella would want. Kristen said in interviews later that Bella is so in love with Edward that no matter what, she would have tunnel vision and wouldn't be interested in anybody else. Having to kiss someone who she wasn't so deeply in love with didn't feel like something Bella would want to do, so Kristen said she would feel awkward doing it. Not to mention that the two were good friends, and kissing her friend felt more than a little weird and surreal. Allison Hannigan and Jason Segel in How I Met Your Mother. Allison and Jason played Lily and Marshall on How I Met Your Mother, and they always came across as a quintessential all-American married couple. They are incredibly close friends in real life too, and both of them are experienced actors. Fans watching the show really would have no idea that sometimes the kissing scenes were uncomfortable. The pair said that Allison, who plays Lily, would sometimes not want to kiss Jason, who plays Marshall, because he smokes quite a lot of cigarettes and sometimes he would have smoke breath. Yuck. I got to the point that he smoked so many cigarettes and had to kiss her so many times that he would give Allison $10 every time he smoked a cigarette. He had so many that the pair joked that she was going to make him broke. It all worked out though, because rather than just reaching for the mouthwash after a cigarette, he ended up being able to give up smoking altogether. Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst in Spider-Man. Everyone has seen the famous upside down kiss scene in Spider-Man. It's amazing, super romantic. He's literally just rescued her and swept her off her feet. And it's a stormy night pouring with rain. And he's a superhero and she's a comic book heroine. What else could you need? Well, it was so hugely hyped up and Tobey had a bit of a raw end to the deal. Poor Tobey had to obviously hang upside down while the scene was filmed, and he said all the blood rushed to his head. Obviously not a comfortable way to spend your day. Plus the scene took place in the pouring rain, and because he was upside down, all the water ran up his nose, making it difficult to breathe. Tobey already knew from reading the script that it was going to be pretty unpleasant, and he really didn't want to do it, but he got on with it anyway, and the scene in the end looked amazing, and is one of the most famous kissing scenes in any movie ever. Tom Cruise and Thandie Newton. Tom Cruise, aside from the weird Scientology thing, is kind of known in Hollywood as being a bit of a heartthrob. Especially back in the 80s and 90s, he was pretty gorgeous and lots of ladies wanted to kiss him. But for Thandie Newton, it wasn't as good as she had been hoping. It's almost as if she tasted that Scientology before it happened. Apparently, according to an interview with Gawker, Tom is a bit of a wet kisser. Passionate kissing is different from too much saliva, guys. A direct quote from her said that kissing Tom Cruise was slightly icky and sort of wet. Ew. Thandie also went on to say that after after each scene was filmed, she would be in a bad mood, grumbling because the director had them do it multiple times until he was satisfied with the take. The temperature they were filming in was super hot too, so we can't imagine the sweat from the heat and the stage lights made things any easier. Angelina Jolie and James McAvoy in Wanted. Angelina Jolie and James McAvoy are both super good looking and super experienced in their long acting careers, so this should be fine, right? Well, it would be, except their kissing scene for this film was scheduled for the first day the two got to meet. In an interview later, James revealed that this made it a fairly awkward experience. He spoke of it. "Hey, how are you doing? I'm James, nice to meet you. Okay, let's do the scene." It's not that either of the stars were bad at kissing, more just the incredibly awkward timing of the scene being filmed made it difficult in a different sort of way. It certainly would have been a little bit better if the two got to know each other first. Leonardo DiCaprio and Virginie Ledoux in The Beach. This movie was filmed back in 1999 and 2000 when Leo DiCaprio was one of the biggest, hottest young stars on the planet. That's why it was such a huge surprise when his co-star and recipient of his on-screen kisses, Virginie Ledoux, spoke about his kissing technique in interviews in a not so favorable light. Apparently, Leonardo DiCaprio is, or at least was back then, not such a hot kisser. It wasn't that he was terrible as such, just not that great. While he and Virginie got along in real life, she admitted in a 2014 interview that it was nothing special. There was no honest passion, I can't even remember his kiss. We think this might be even more disappointing than hearing his kiss was terrible. Thanks for watching the video today, guys. It's been fun. Please, as always, guys, leave a like on this video down below by pressing that thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out, and all of us here really appreciate it. If you turn on notifications, then you'll make sure you stay up to date with all of our brand new content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys real soon. Take care.